So why does it feel like there's been so much animosity as of late between influencers and brands? So I feel like I can't get on Threads or Instagram at this point without seeing some sort of heated discussion between various influencers and brands, and it's nasty, it's toxic. I see a lot of differentiating viewpoints and opinions on this subject, and I feel like I have a very unique perspective in that I am an influencer, I'm a filmmaker, a content creator. I've built a large following over the years through YouTube and Instagram, but I've also been on the other side and am currently on the other side with owning a variation of my own brands and businesses in which, you know, we depend on content creators and influencers to help promote and market our products. And so I feel like I have a very unique perspective on the situation, but again, just came to light when yesterday I got on Threads, and I'm gonna read the comment right here real quick, but I saw this and it said, I just had a content creator try and charge me $2,000 for 5 posts and also wanted 5 bags of coffee for free. And she has less than 5,000 followers across her social media. Her engagement, according to her analytics, was less than 5%. I had another content creator with 400,000 followers just on her Instagram alone ask for $4K for one Instagram story and one feed post that will be removed after 48 hours, but was unable to show me analytics to prove it's worth it. What the fuck is wrong with some of you? I obviously saw that and had something to say and responded with what I feel is very true in today's creator influencer economy. The industry is shifting. I said most influencers don't have the influence that they think they do, and their price for work post typically never returns a good ROI. Of which someone responded and was like, Jake talks about this a lot and has a solid YouTube video talking about this as well. Some of the numbers I'm seeing are absolutely insane. So yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about this and break it all down because I feel his frustration as a brand and business owner myself, seeing and hearing some of these numbers that you know, creators and influencers send to us is quite alarming. And again, I'm on both sides of the fence here, right? Like I do brand deals and work with companies and brands heavily, as well as like I obviously have my own company and brand. And so while I want both sides to win, and we should want both sides to win, because without the creators and people promoting the products, like the business maybe doesn't do as well. It doesn't generate as much sales, but without the products and without the business to make the products that you guys are buying, there is no the creators aren't getting paid if there is no business or money within that business to support your lifestyle as a content creator and influencer. And so we need each other, right? And so I feel like I have a unique, I guess I keep saying that, I have a unique take and perspective on it, because the numbers that we see on the back end, typically, if you're paying someone what they feel they're worth, let's just say they charge $2,000 for an Instagram reel, right? And that is their fee for that. In today's day and age, you would be very hard pressed, unless you have a very strong and committed following, for that reel to convert to $2,000+. And I think something people, the influencers and creators need to take into account is, can you deliver an ROI, a return on investment? That brand is investing in you and investing in you with the idea that you will be able to generate leads and sales with your content. And so unfortunately, like in this situation where this person was saying that she was unable to show me analytics that proves it's worth it, like if the brand is asking for those analytics, you need to be able to prove those analytics to justify your worth, because these brands and companies, us included, if we're paying money for your influence and you don't have influence, then like what are we doing here? And so I think it's important to understand that, especially in today's world, there's so much content floating around and everyone is so inundated, and more people have followings now more than ever, but are they really engaged to the point where they're gonna buy? And I think you need to take that into account. Like with the way even AI, I hate to say it, the way AI is progressing, like the more that these influencers and creators try to squeeze the juice out of these brands for every dollar possible instead of building a long-standing relationship, or maybe negotiating with the brand for a rate that they feel is more fair or fits within their budget. You're going to have these brands start to shift away from paying influencers when they can just get AI to produce content and then run paid media on that. Then, because honestly, a lot of the paid media that we run has a better ROI than us paying a influencer or creative. So, in our eyes as a business, we might as well create the content ourselves, run paid media. Granted, we're good content creators, so our content is resonating with people, and that's probably why also like the paid media is like got a good ROI. But if we can, as a brand, look and go, okay, this piece of content that we made, we put, for every $2 we put in, we get 4 out. Like, we're gonna take that 10 times out of 10 versus paying a influencer where we don't know what that return is gonna be, if that makes sense. So if we can look at the data and numbers and know, okay, if we're gonna spend $50,000 this month on advertising and that's gonna bring us 100K, that is a smart deal. That's smart for us as a business to grow and scale. But if we're going to invest $2,000 into a content creator to make content and they can't even drive $500 worth of sales, that's a bad investment. And it doesn't make sense for the brand or the company to pay that influencer or influencers, especially if there's been a track record of influencers not being able to generate the sales for the price that they're asking for. I don't know. There's so many different nuances to this topic, but I say all this to say, like, it is frustrating when you as a business obviously want to work with creators and help creators by giving them an opportunity to make content and get paid to do it, but it feels so one-sided in terms of like, this is my fee, and if not, tough luck. I think a crazy example one time is early on when we first started our company. I reached out to a big YouTuber that I admired and followed, and asked, what would it cost to get like a YouTube, video made about us and our company. And I was quoted a ridiculous amount of money that I would never, ever pay for. It was like $40,000. And maybe they were just saying that because they didn't really want to do it. And maybe if we said yes, they're like, shit, yeah, let's go. But those are the kind of things where it's like, you have to be able to justify your price. If you're going to say like, hey, I am $40,000 for a YouTube video, you need to have data that backs up that to show like, hey, by this company paying you 40K, you can at least generate that back. Because maybe the company wants eyeballs. Maybe they don't necessarily want direct sales right away or a return on those sales, right? But at least they want $40,000 worth of eyeballs. But if you can't give them those $40,000 worth of eyeballs and impressions, then you're not worth $40,000. And so same thing goes all the way down the ladder to $1,000 or $500. But I think it's important to look at these influencer opportunities through the lens of data-driven numbers, because I think too many people convolute in the creator marketplace, influencer marketplace, like the work with the influence. Like, they're quoting these prices because of the work that they have to do along with the influence. And that shouldn't be the case. Like, what we're paying you for as a business or a brand, speaking from a brand side now, is for your influence. And so if you don't have influence, then you're not worth it, because I can just go hire a video production team or a videographer or do it in-house to make the piece of content you're gonna make, and then put paid media behind it and have a way better ROI. So I think too many influencers are convoluting and meshing the price of the work with the influence. And if you are an influencer and you're doing a brand deal, you need to not look at the work or the effort that you're putting into the video as part of the price. That's my opinion. That's my take on it. Because like I said, if you are $2,000 to make a reel, and you cannot deliver $2,000 plus worth of like a return on my investment, then I will just go make the piece of content, spend or hire someone to make that piece of content, and then go spend $2,000 to make $5,000. And I know I can make that, amount off of that piece of content because I know our back end data, I know our analytics, I know the ad spend, I can track all that, and I have data that shows me where the money goes and where it comes in. So I don't know. Sorry, this is kind of more of a rant video. Like, I didn't really have like a plan or like thing, like formula. I was just like, you know what? Fucking been seeing this nonstop and I don't understand why. Obviously, rage bait. Like, people love to like bait to create clicks and interaction. And I'm sure this video will get a number of people commenting and whatnot because of the hot kind of topic that it is. But I don't know, it's just an interesting thing overall. I personally believe that today influencers don't have the same influence that they had 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even 3 years ago. And I think numbers do need to be adjusted. And I feel like each side, whether you're a brand owner or a content creator, like only looks at it from your side of things and fails to try and understand it from the other side. And I think brands, unfortunately, like have people, like they don't have the infinite like funds and money that these creators and influencers think that they have. Like, a lot of this money, especially if they're a small business, is extremely important and valuable to them, especially if they're trying to scale and grow. And so when you just kind of like haphazardly put something together, but you have this air of like, yeah, this is my fee, this is what I charge, and you don't really care about the relationship and helping that company that's trying to pay you. Like, they're paying you for your service to influence. And if you're just more so doing it for the check because like, I got 50,000 followers, I'll make this piece of content, doesn't matter if it performs well or not, like they're paying me, like, it's just, I don't know, it's a poor mindset to have. And that's what I feel like I see so much of now, is like just doing it for the check. I don't take brand deals unless it's like something I'm really, really passionate about. I talked about that on this channel. I don't know if the video's dropped yet, but I turned down a really big Adobe brand deal. And that's just because like, I'm not in it for the money. If I'm gonna promote a product or sell a product from a brand, like I wanna be invested in that, use it myself, and want other people to use it. And there was, this Adobe product that like revolving around AI and After Effects that I don't like or use, and so I didn't feel comfortable sharing it. But there's a lot of people that will just take that check and shill out for those dollars. So overall, I think it's important to try and understand the other side and be flexible, be able to negotiate. Don't be so hard-headed and stuck in like, this is my fee. Work with a brand, try and build with a brand. Like, these brands don't have unlimited money like you think they do, unless they're, someone like a Adobe or a Figma or an Apple. Like, yes, those companies are massive and have huge marketing budgets, but the majority of these brands and companies that are reaching out to you don't have the money that you think they do. And if they do, they're trying to spread that marketing budget across a whole year and across many different people and influencers. So I think it's just always better to kind of see the bigger picture. And I think a lot of influencers get so stuck on the short-sightedness of like, this is my fee, what I'm getting paid right now for this piece of content, rather than trying to see like where that could lead if they just like bring their price down and work with building with the brand over a period of time. I know like I've done that with several brands, and still to this day, because of my flexibility, like I'm 5, 6, 7 years later, still working with those brands, getting paid every year throughout the year on different, initiatives and product launches and things. So try and look at the bigger picture. Don't get so short-sighted. Be able to, negotiate, be flexible. Don't be so locked in. I know a lot of other creators and influencers will tell you otherwise, but again, I'm on both sides of the field. I am a creator, I'm an influencer, I'm someone who does these brand deals, but I also am on the other side and just want to give you guys perspective from a company trying to work with creatives and maybe some of those perspectives, especially a small family-owned business. I know there's a lot of people that think like even like Prism Lens Effects is some like massive corporation, but it's not. It's a family-owned business. We are self-funded. We've never taken outside investments or money, and so that money that we decide to pay out to certain influencers or creators for certain product launches or whatever it is important, and every dollar matters. And so just take that into account next time you're talking with the brand or a company. And yeah, let's all be nicer to each other, man. Like there's so much just negativity and hostility on these platforms, especially Threads. I feel like Threads is just like a hotbed for hot takes to rage bait people into saying some wild shit. So yeah, I don't know, that was kind of my rant for the day. I know it was a little all over the place. There wasn't too much structure to it, but yeah, just some random thoughts I wanted to get out into the world. All right, guys, see you on the next one. Consider subscribing. Peace.